Hello, everybody, welcome. Rose a psych investigator, hell, Everybody, welcome. Rose a psych investigator. So, guys, it's about quarter after 11 p.m. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I saw the news. I had, s- to be fair, I had seen this before, but somehow I hadn't paid attention. And I want to talk about it because it's very exciting. Well, the word's not exciting, is it? It's encouraging, I would say, because after the news that I talked about earlier today, which was the news about Hegseth and what's his name, Colby, being sidelined by the NATO commanding Supreme Commander General, right? So uh, decisions about Ukraine sending long-range missiles no longer have to go through them because they were the people that were blocking things. So that's good. The news, sorry, because if you're new to my channel, I like to put on makeup also. Trolls be trolling, but I makeup in. Okay, so that's okay. So I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. So let me go to the news. Let me share here with you. And just to say, guys, we're living in such a horrible time, right? In many ways. But when you see people like Jack Smith, it's worth it, right? In the end, it's worth it in the sense that there are people who are doing something or standing for something, and things are changing, as we have seen earlier today. But let's go to it. Okay. All right. So here is okay. Ex special with CBS News, ex special counsel Jack Smith asks to testify publicly before Congress, as lawyers say. So we know that I forgot which the Republican was gonna. I want to subpoena him, but he put out a letter through his attorneys requesting that. Can you imagine? Like, what a courageous man, right? And by the way, this reminds me, I received an email the other day. Someone was like, Rosie, I saw that you're saying be careful out there. Are you sure you have a private platform? And I think this is a time for people to speak up. I'm not releasing anything that is extraordinary. I'm talking about things that are in the public domain, right? So I really don't trust people that come to me and tell me to be afraid. That doesn't work for me. So I can't really tell whether the person had malign. I don't know the degree. I can't really tell if the person had a good intentions or not. But the point is, it doesn't work for me. I'm immediately suspicious of people who say that because to me that tells me it's like saying, please take away your own power because this is a time to speak up to do something, right? So here it is. Former special counsel Jack Smith is offering to testify in open hearings before the House and Senate Judiciary Committee about the federal investigations into President Trump's handling of sensitive documents and alleged efforts to subvert the transfer of power after the 2020 election, according to a letter from his lawyers to lawmakers. In the letter obtained by CBS News, Smith's lawyers said he's prepared to answer questions from Congress about the investigations he oversaw and prosecutions of Mr. Trump that stemmed from them, but said doing so requires assurance from the Department of Justice that he will not be punished for doing so. So, the first volume of Smith's reports pertains to the investigation that stemmed from alleged efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election, and it was submitted to Congress in mid-January. But the second volume, which covers Mr. Trump's handling of sensitive government documents after leaving the White House in 2021, has not been made public. Then Attorney General Merrick Garland said he would not release the second volume of Smith's final report because a criminal case involving two of Mr. Trump's co-defendants was ongoing. But after Mr. Trump returned to the White House for a second term, the case against the two, aide Walt Nauta and former Mar-a-Lago property manager Carlos de Oliveira, was tossed out. Okay, well, mhm. Given, let's just see, let me just get this last paragraph and then I'll get into the question. Given the many mischaracterizations of Mr. Smith's investigation into President Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents and role in attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 election, Mr. Smith respectfully requests the opportunity to testify in open hearings before the House and Senate Judiciary Committees. Smith's lawyers wrote in their letter to Senator Chuck Grassley and Representative Jim Jordan, who lead the Senate and House Judiciary panels. Okay? All right, so I'm going to stop share and let's go. So, what is going to happen? What's the protection first? Important. I like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources, that I create the good and I'm the good, and so it is. So, what is happening here? Okay, what is happening? Jack Smith. I just see him eliminated and speaking Congress, wanting to speak in Congress, and that the Republicans are scared of him because he's telling the truth. And the entire administration is about lying and propaganda. But so why is Jack Smith doing this? Because he wants to tell the public about what was happening. And if he wants it, and if Trump dares to charge him for something, then he wants to tell the American public what happened, right? So, so what is going to happen here? I feel like they're shocked, to be honest, right now, because he went ahead and requested this. So, what is going to happen? Okay, why is Jack Smith doing this? Why is Jack Smith doing this? Why is Jack? Hermits, right, means to be in hiding in a way or to be monk-like and meditative, introspective. Oh, burdened. This is a really interesting card for this learn to unburden himself. He has a lot of information to share. He wants to share. Queen of Wands. Action. He wants to take action. Okay. Okay. Some cards fell here. So what will be the outcome of this letter for Jack? Oh, creating an ending. Okay. For Jackson will be outcome. Victory. Wow, cause to leave. But I honestly wonder if this is for Trump. Doesn't make sense. I asked what will be the outcome for him? He's going to create an ending and he's going to cause somebody to leave. And this is the card of Chariot. It's a very strong card of victory. So as he pushes forward in the Chariot, he precipitates somebody leaving and a painful ending. So I see that Trump is apoplectic because it's saying, and if you listen to the interview of Jack Smith, he talks about how there was intent and how Trump made multiple efforts to hide the information, the documents to obstruct justice. And he was actively looking at all the documents he had stolen, right? So I see also that Jack Smith has backing, meaning I feel like he's not just is not a saint in the sense that he's not doing it because he believes in God necessarily. It's because he feels like he has protection. He's not afraid, which is really interesting, right? And I see he has shared information with many people so that he knows that if something happens to him, and but I feel like he knows he's a warrior for the truth and that whatever risks are worth it. So what does he know? Okay, I see these images of generals, of all kinds of people like behind him, 200, 300 people behind him that are giving him a guarantee. So does Jack Smith have protection? I'm not talking about necessarily spiritual protection. I'm talking about actual people. Oh, look, justice. That's right. Well, the king, well, these two cards are all about justice. Oh, Wheel of Fortune. That's right. Wow. So it really feels as though Jack Smith has this, he has a key kind of in the sense that he could move. I have the word impeachment, but by impeachment, I mean it in the greatest sense of the word. He can move things forward, and the truth has to be revealed about what happened and who Trump really is. Wow. So what will be the outcome? I see that there was some negotiating. Okay, I see this image. There's negotiating. And then okay, this is the strangest thing. I see the image of remember how I went to see Hamilton in person a few months ago, whenever that was, in the summer. And I remember like it looked like that theater. And then they're discussing this, not on that stage, but right like where the whatever seats are. And then Trump barges in. And then the military barges after Trump. So it's a theater, it tells me. It's a theater that Jack Smith knows is playing a role in Trump's removal, I feel like, which is really interesting. So let me ask this. So is Jack Smith helping remove Trump? Is Jack Smith helping remove Trump? If so, how? Wow, everything coming out, the sun. Wow, justice. That's right. Successful justice. Interesting. Now, this is also a very interesting card because it's a card of a battle. Especially when it's upside down, actually. It's like it's a final showdown. Final showdown. Dun, 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 dun. That's right. It's a battle. That's it. And I still see him now. I see him riding a horse like he's a knight in the Middle Ages or something, and he's galloping and is the knight of the truth. And he knows that victory comes when truth is revealed, and is a messenger of truth. And he has all the backing. Wow, it's not what I was expecting at all. Wow. And I see that Trump cowers before him. Wow. So, okay, all of this is very symbolic. I want to know an answer to this. Is it really going to happen? Yes or no? Is Jack Smith? Yes. Is he going to testify? They will schedule the testifying. And as he's preparing to testify, as you saw, there's negotiation. Trump barges in, and then the military comes after Trump. So it's saying it's both the timeline and it's also a discussion of the context. So I have another question. Does Jack Smith know of plans to remove Trump? Just does Jack know whether there are plans to remove Trump? Okay. Collecting evidence, collecting something, worried, making plans. Okay, there's the plans. That's right. Planning first steps, making a decision. That's right. It's the card of planning. Does Jack Smith know of execution of these plans, that there's plans that are going to be executed? Judgment, that's it. And I see that he's really, oh, here it is, shady people behind the scenes. There may be people behind the scenes. This card, I'm not a huge interpreter of the upside down card thing, but it could be pointing to the fact that there may be people that are working together. Messages, yes, he received messages in a way or another that here. Awakening, right? The judgment, right? The judgment call, the time of revelation. There may be people working together and he had received messages about it, yes. But I feel like it's sort of secretive and he knows this, he was trained on this which is like these secret plans that the government has if something goes really, really wrong, which I think is what's happening. Wow. So very interesting, guys. I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expect because and then it shows me, okay, Jack Smith wearing a superhero outfit. Okay, but I have a question. I've seen the military be involved in Trump's removal. Now I see Jack Smith. So what is the connection here? Jack Smith is saying, Rosie, he's not the military, duh. But he plays a role in that it's Justice League, right? He's I'm gonna say Captain America, but he is on the good side of things. So so even though he's not playing the role of the military, he's a person who's bringing the truth to the fore. So the next question, is Jack Smith going to be safe? Yes, believe it or not, yes. He is an example for all of us to not be afraid of this time. Keep the faith and trust that the good people are coming out. And you could see today you got the news, the Wall Street Journal reported yesterday, and you talked about it today, about how Hegseth and Colby have lost their power when it came to determining what attacks Ukraine could do. That's a very positive sign. Now you see that Jack Smith came out and said this. So people are showing up, and people are showing up on the streets, and Jack Smith knows very well that this is happening. And his first step was to give the interview to Andrew Weissman as a message. And now you see that things are starting to percolate. And Trump is getting more and more nervous. And he's hyper excited, Trump is. It's not gonna end well for him. So just keep just keep yourselves keep praying, right? Keep doing your work, every single one of us in our own way, whatever we can, because things are going to change. And the most important thing is to never give in to fear. Okay. Oh, it's all right. So I'm gonna go because it's just a really brief video, and I'll talk to you later. Look at this. Okay, bye.